Video games.
What up, dudes? Matt here with YoVideogames, and I'm back again with a Real Talk video. This time talking about the latest trailer for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and talking about the preview event that just recently went on with the game, and kind of something that overnight kind of blew up. So yeah, there was a media hands-on event to go on with hands-on with Metroid Prime 4. Less than a month before the game came out, and the reviews or the impressions were kind of mixed. Well, they were mostly positive, except for one defining aspect, where basically there is the introduction of a NPC tag-along character named Myles McKenzie in this game, and it was causing quite a stir because some of the media impressions were really, really negative on this guy, really down, and basically, like, some of them, and again, they were getting really hyperbolic, where you had some websites and some journalists, sitting there talking about how, like, this ruined the game for them. I am seriously concerned. Like, I want to kill this main character. It's so bad. And this was like, yeah, so immediately shockwaves, and people were kind of like, again, like, reacting to the reaction, and I was like, well, a little bit taken aback, because I was like, okay, this sounds pretty awful. We're less than a month away. No one said anything about a companion character for Metroid Prime. Like, why would there be? But it also sounds very Nintendo at the same time, because again, Zelda's been doing it for many years, decades even. Navi, Tattle, the Hat, Fi, Midna, like, they had a companion character for a very long time in the Zelda games. It sounds like something Nintendo would do for Metroid Prime. So digging into it a little more, and also looking into the overview trailer, which Nintendo uploaded at the same time as the preview media stuff went live, we actually see that I think there's going to be multiple companions in this game, and this guy Myles is really just there for the beginning area of the game, and he's going to be kind of like the overly chatty, nerdy, sort of explain stuff. Now, do we know if he's going to be like, hey, he's going to be like Atreus in Dad of Boy, who's going to literally spoil all the puzzles for you? Maybe a little bit early on, but he definitely feels like this guy is sort of supposed to be the ease the new players into, like, okay, this is how this game works and functions. But again, at the end of the day, though, he's not going to be there for the full game. He's not there in the intro, from what we can tell, and he's not there for the entirety of the game either. Like, there was a YouTube channel, I think it was Press Start Australia, and they showed a little bit more in depth for the first chunk of the game, and showing you how you meet Myles and what he does for, like, the 20 minutes or whatever they uploaded in. It fits a little better in context. And I'm not going to sit here and say Myles is like, oh, what, he's okay, he's fine, he's funny. He's not funny. He's not really charming or anything. He's just sort of a goober, an engineer who's a little clumsy and talks way too much and whatever. But as someone who plays a lot of JRPGs and a lot of other things, like, having the annoying sidekick companion is pretty par for the course for a lot of the games I play. And I just want to say I've encountered so much worse in my time video gaming. Characters from World of Final Fantasy, or Paimon from Genshin Impact. Like, there are so many worse characters that have been companions throughout the games. Fi constantly telling you about, your battery depletion levels and whatnot. So, and even though she didn't even have voice acting, but, like, again, like, I've encountered so much worse in video gaming, that seeing the footage of Myles was like, this is it. Like, this feels a tad bit overblown. And frankly, like, again, if we really want to talk about things that really killed Metroid, let's talk about, the Metroid Other M, where they character assassinated the hell out of Samus, like, giving Samus, she became overly chatty, and then her entire character was just basically destroyed. And it doesn't even, I don't care that Sakamoto was there from the beginning. This is just self-sabotage, the likes of which that would make George Lucas and Disney blush. So, it's been so much worse in Metroid. And again, that's probably part of the fear too, and maybe the action overreaction of Metroid fans going like, no, not talking in a Metroid game, for the love of God, why? I get it, but on the other hand too, there is the fact that Metroid's been a series that's been going on for 30 years, and there's been very little outside of the aforementioned Other M to sort of expand the universe that Samus inhabits. And I don't mind them doing some things, because again, we perfected lonely isolationist, Metroid in Metroid 1, 2, and Super Metroid, and even Dread. We perfected, lonely isolationist 3D Metroid Prime 1, 2 as well. So there was a little more going on in 3 story character wise, but at the end of the day, like, I'm actually okay with them like introducing more to this world. Like the Galactic Federation, their troopers, the space pirates, all they don't have to just be stuff that's in the instruction manual or stuff that shows up in the first 5 minutes of the game and then is just gone completely. I'm okay with them doing things, like trying new things, because yeah, it's a long running franchise, and frankly, they've said and done it so well in the past. I'm okay with some new mechanics, some new trials. Like, are they all going to hit? Obviously not. And again, I don't think this Myles guy is charming in any way whatsoever. But I played through Xenoblade X multiple times, and that had Tatsu, so this cannot be as bad as that. And in fact, the strangest thing about this whole debacle that came up almost overnight was really the fact that I've been ho-hum on this game since really almost its inception, but especially ever since they actually started showing the game. I was like, well, yeah, that's Metroid Prime, looks like Metroid Prime, and I'm sure it's going to be fine and good, but I've hardly been excited for the title at all. But strangely, it's all the other things from the preview and especially the overview trailer that I witnessed that I'm like, okay, like I'm actually now really excited for the game much more than I was before. A lot of people were freaking out again. Metroid fans being so weirdly purist, they saw the motorcycle and freaked the fuck out and thought, oh my god, open world Metroid, no, why would you do that? And I'm like, or it's just a connecting tissue hub world, and lo and behold, yeah, it's literally just a hub world. You drive from region to region on the motorcycle. We're gonna get the elevators, don't get me wrong, but it's like, okay, like just having something to break up the action, have something a little more different, a little more fast paced. What's wrong with that? Nothing's wrong with that. And then again, the other thing, this is a 4K 60 game, and a 1080 120 game on Switch 2. The fact that it's going to run probably 1080 60 on the Switch 1 and looks as good as it does is incredible. Like, yeah, this is a game that's apparently gone north of $100 million, and it actually looks like it. Like, we don't see this kind of visual fidelity, this sort of detail from Nintendo products. Not much, not often. Like, you'll see every so now and again, but a 4K 60 game? Granted, I know it's cross-gen, but it still looks, frankly, kind of incredible for the game we're getting. This is a really good looking game. The art direction is really good. It's really solid. The graphics are really nice. Like, everything looks just well beyond what we're used to seeing from Nintendo. So seeing them kind of like, hey, we're going for like that really high end, high fidelity kind of look and feel, like, I'm all for it. I'm actually kind of excited to try out the mouse controls, excited, to see where they go with this. And again, musically too, from just the Beyond overview trailer and the footage for the direct feed from the press, like, this game's actually really good musically, like better than I was expecting. And it's really definitely falling in line with the classic Metroid Prime soundtrack. I'm sure it's the same composer. I'm sure he's coming back for all of them, but yeah, this is actually looking better than it ever has. Myles notwithstanding. Like, is he a little bit annoying and talkative? Sure, but he also doesn't. I'm not seeing game ruining material from this. I'm not even really seeing anything that, honestly, if he dips out after the first area or before the first area is done, if he dips out from that, I'd be like, okay, well, this shouldn't even affect a grade score in any way. Like, if he was like ruining puzzles, if he is constantly talking, if he is ruining cutscenes and moments like constantly, then yeah, that would definitely be a cause for concern or something that you would dock a game, in a review for. But I mean, again, we're going to see a bunch of other characters, as we clearly saw in the trailer. Captain Death Flag's over there, wants to meet his family again, and like the big, brick shithouse robot guy who helps you break through things and stuff. So yeah, I'm very much like, okay, cool. We're gonna get other companions. We're gonna, each area will probably have its own thing. There'll probably be some culmination with them helping you out at the end, fighting the last boss or something. Captain Death Flag will die. But yeah, otherwise, like, this is actually the best the game has looked to me since they actually started showing footage of this cursed project. You know, where the first team had to scrap it and remove it from the first people. You know, Bandai and Namco Shanghai and whoever else. You know, because they fucked it all up and had to go back to Retro. But then Retro had to hire an entirely new staff of people because nobody from the first 3 games was left. So yeah, it's a crazy world. It's had a crazy, you know, life getting made, and it's been very expensive for Nintendo. And I'm sure Nintendo is pretty pissed about how long it's taken, how much it's cost them. I'm for sure they're not happy, but you know what? Fuck them. They got all the money in the world. You know, they can afford to have a game that sells okay and looks amazing once in their goddamn life. So yeah, at the end of the day, this is looking better than it has before, honestly. And I think the attention and negativity, you know, focused on a talkative NPC, which is not new for Nintendo or Nintendo games, new for Metroid maybe, but not new for the company. I feel it's extremely overblown. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe this depends again a lot on what other games you've played or how, you know, how big your gaming library is or whatever. But for me, this is far from the worst thing I've ever seen. And I don't even think it doesn't even look like it's going to hurt the game that much, if at all, honestly, at the end of the day. I'm actually more excited than ever. So let me know what you guys think. And hell, I'll see you on the channel for the game when it releases. Later, dudes.